I've seen some comments asking about my bike, so I want to do a walk around to tell you what bike it is and what mods I've done to it to better suit my stunting needs. And per usual, I'm here at this private lot in the woods with the owner's permission, which means that we can start off by doing some wheelies. Oh, did you hear it? Hey. Another one. Ooh. Third time's a charm. Ah, sweet. Now let's go over to that sunny spot so we can look at the bike. Throttle posters. Woo! Oh yeah. Okay, so let's put it in neutral and swing it around so the light hits it beautifully. That stuff is important. So first off, this is a 2005 Honda CRF450X, but it's manufactured in Europe, where Honda actually partnered up with the motorcycle manufacturer Montesa. So if you take the H from the Honda and the M from Montesa, you get the HM. So this is a HM model, and they are kind of rare here in Sweden. And what makes them rare is the fact that Sweden only imported these bikes 2003, 2004 and 2005. Worth to notice is that the 03 and 04 model is based on the CRF450R, so they are more dirt bikey in like the gearbox and the character of the power band, whilst this is based on the CRF450X. So you get the starter, and I have a battery in here so I can run light quite easily on my bike, and I'd say the power band is more torquey towards like the middle, but I can't truly say anything about it because it was ages ago I rode like a 450R. So let's get into the mods. Where to begin? When I started out my wheelie progression, I had a stock lever. You know what? Actually, let me just post up a photo on the screen of how this bike looked when I bought it. It was a true banana bike. It was just bone stock, enduro, crazy. So it had those golden enduro wheels, but I was able to trade those for a couple of KTM Supermoto wheels. And I remember that rear rim was a 5-inch, so I just had to mod everything in my swing arm and the spacers and like the chain slider thing and everything, and it was still a super tight fit. That hub had like a cush drive, you know, that anti-jerk mechanism with those rubber thingies. I had to grind those down a couple of millimeters and switch out these bolts that holds the sprocket just so it wouldn't grind on my swing arm. So that was a complete headache, but I saved up some money, sold those rims and got these VMX, which basically are just cheap China Supermoto wheels. I have put these to the test by crashing them a lot. They are scratched up, they are banged up, barely round anymore, but they have served me so well, and I'm gonna ride them until they just explode. So anyways, back to the clutch. When I started practicing clutch ups, and I just kept pinching my ring finger, so that was almost one of the first mods I did to this bike. I got these also cheap China like RSC rip-off lever. It does the job, nothing wrong with it. It's a one-finger clutch and I like it. Which brings me to the next super important and almost like the best mod I've done to this bike, which is the lengthening of the clutch arm. So when I clutch, you get like that extra leverage. I'm not lying to you if this made this clutch pull like 30% easier. It's crazy, and these old CRF450s are famous for a really hard clutch pull, and that's actually crafted by me and a buddy of mine. He actually knows how to maneuver those aluminum CNC mill things, so he's done that part of the clutch arm. He helped me with some spacers for the wheels, because like always the wheels weren't bolt-on fit. And moving on to the next lever for my handbrake or stunt brake, it's a Magura HC1 with a steel braided brake line that goes all the way down to CRF CRF450 front caliper, so the double piston caliper. Oh, and the Magura is a 13 millimeter. And I don't really have anything to compare these two, but I would say the feel is nice. Here you can see another thing that is specially made with that CNC mill. Also these spacers that centers the caliper over the disc. So I'm really happy with this setup. Looks kind of profesh, right? And if we just look up here, it's my latest mod. It's a BMX peg and 2 aluminum like brackets or rods or whatever, I don't know the word. I didn't want to drill a hole and make a weak point in my subframe, so I kind of like clamped around it. So what you don't see here is that these 2 aluminum parts have like grooves milled into them, so they can't move like up and down. They are really clamped onto the subframe, so this is really stable to stand on. What else? Yeah, we have the stunt subframe, which another buddy of mine helped me weld from just a 3mm flat iron. Can you see anything under here? It's just a square. It's kind of hard to show you how I fasten it, but I use these 2 bolts that holds the seat, and I can like drill my way through, and these brackets go past there on the inside, and then it's another flat iron here to create like a square that really made it sturdy. And then it keeps going. Nothing is drilled into the subframe. I can still take off all of these parts and make it stock again. As for like suspension, it's completely stock. I've just stiffened it up on the compression and rebound screws all the way. Same thing with the rear shock, and that thing is spongy. I really need like a proper overhaul on that thing, but cash is running low. Oh yeah, this Vapor, is it a Raptor? I can't remember the model, but this was sitting up here somewhere when I bought the bike. I've just moved it down here to make a more discreet front of the bike. I really like that dirt bike look, so I put a number plate and have like a small light separately, and that works. I really want to scrap this whole thing and just put like small LEDs for the turn signal and oil pressure, but that's another future project. And I'd say that's pretty much it. I haven't changed the piston on this bike since I bought it 3 years ago. I was never told the hours on that piston when I bought it, and the bike doesn't have any hour meter, so I'm kind of playing it by ear, but that's how I like it. I hope you found this video interesting or informative in some way. Do you have any questions at all about my bike or your bike, or how to set up a bike for wheelies? Hit me up in the comment section, bro. I'm here for you. Take it easy, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.